Hello, my name is Jalen Avila, and in this video, I'm going to show you some basic machine operation stuff for the new Mindray TeX. So this is the machine. Now here it is oriented in a landscape orientation, but you can actually rotate this screen so that it can go in a more portrait orientation, which is kind of nice. You have a little tray here. You have a handle and a handle back here. This trigger can actually help bring the entire screen up and down. We have places for our transducers to connect as well as the transducers, and we have some USB slots as well as HDMI and other slots back here. The next step is going to be making sure that you have adequate documentation by making sure that the patient's data and the operator data, that's you, are in there. Now, if you don't happen to have your machine hooked up to the electronic medical record, you can definitely manually input the information. And the way you do that is you're going to hit that bottom left button that says patient. You're going to open that, and you notice here that there is an auto ID with the date, and keep that if you want to, if you don't have another ID. But you can manually input a patient's name into the last name and the first name area. And then what I would do at this point is make sure that we know who is doing the examination, and you can place that typically in the operator setting to make sure that it is tracked back to you. Now, if you happen to have it hooked up to an electronic medical record, which is ideal, you can actually pull this up directly on the machine, and that way it hooks up to the patient's record. If you happen to have an orders-based or encounter-based pathway, you can pull up the patient data on the machine by hitting the patient button and then hitting the work list button. And give it a second, but all of the orders that were already placed should be here. If you happen to have an orders-based pathway, you have to put the order in before you come up to the machine to input the patient's data and upload their information. But if you have an encounter-based pathway, which is more ideal, all of the patients, as they're registered, will automatically have a kind of blank ultrasound order, and you'd be able to pick it up here on the machine itself, assuming that it has internet access. Now, in order to put your name on there, which is actually pretty important, there's one extra step. So you'll select that patient and you need to hit that transfer button. And now you'll see here, which we have them redacted because don't want to violate HIPAA or any patient privacy. But you'll notice that the patient's information is on here, but you need to add yourself as the operator. So scroll down and then hit in the operator button, type in whatever your ID happens to be, and then hit done. And at that point, you can actually start scanning, and it will be saved under that patient's medical record with your initials on there. Let's talk about some basic machine operation. You can easily select the probe by hitting this button down here, the probe button. It'll take you to this screen, and whatever is connected to your system in the back, you can select whichever transducer you want here and select whatever type of exam you want to do with any specific transducer, as you see here. If you want to do some measurements or annotations, you can definitely click on any of these menu buttons up here. But what we're going to stick with here is annotations. You can see there that there are some kind of pre-populated ones which show up on the screen, and they will go through to the ultrasound that is saved as well. If you want to manually put in something different, just hit that keyboard button down there and type in whatever it is that you want. Now, if you want to do any measurements, you just hit that measurement tab right here, and also shows up there automatically. And then you can just tap if you want to measure a distance, and it will give you the distance measurements over here. Now, one thing that you might want to do is change the parameters of how the clips are recorded. And so you can actually adjust that by hitting that menu button on the top right, clicking on the setup, and then hitting the general button on that left side. And then you can see over towards the right side of the screen, we can see prospective cine length, retrospective cine length, and we can change all of that. I would recommend doing prospective clips at least 6 seconds, but if you're doing a procedure, you might want to go a little bit longer. And a lot of these newer machines, they can actually go forward kind of a lot, which is good. Hit that apply button and you should be good to go. Next, let's talk about how to review the images and clips that you just did. Let's say you've done a couple of clips, a couple of images over here. Now, if you're still in the study that you're working with, hit that review button on that bottom left side of the screen, and then all of the clips that you've done will be easily available. You can also click on these buttons over here to select those specific clips. Now, when we're done, we're going to go ahead and hit End Exam to close it. And if you are using an EMR, then they'll automatically, hopefully, be uploaded to whatever middleware or PACS system you happen to be utilizing. Now, if you need to export these clips in order to archive them on a secure USB drive at your hospital, I'm going to show you how to do that as well. Now, in the back, if you're looking at posteriorly for the ultrasound machine, if you look on the right side, we can see a bunch of little areas that you can insert HDMI, you can insert VGA, we have USB as well. So go ahead and place an appropriately formatted and approved USB device into one of these slots. And on the screen, on the top right of the actual ultrasound screen, you will see a USB drive icon appear when the machine can register that USB drive. So making sure that you have ended your examination already, what you'll do after you've plugged in an approved USB device is you will hit the iStation button, and the exams that you've done will be easily selectable. You pick the ones that you want to send to your USB drive, as you see here. You select the appropriate format that you want and make sure that you select the appropriate drive and send. Now, generally, especially if these are smaller files, the amount of time it takes will be relatively quick. But if you want to double check how fast things are going, you hit that button. It'll take you to the task management kind of section of it. And then you can see where you are at in your USB export of your clips and of your images. And then when you are done, you can just remove that USB drive. You don't need to do any kind of a eject of it like you might on a PC or on a Mac computer. That's it for this brief tutorial on the Mindray TeX. This is my contact information. I hope to hear from you soon, and happy scanning.